Men who chase after money are trying to compensate for lack of emotional maturity. They're trying to attract men.
When men stop focusing on women, is that why you call us DL? Subscribe, let's talk about it.
The easiest way to find out what a man is truly about is to identify his relationship with money. If he's constantly chasing after money, constantly chasing after being a player and stuff like that, he is not after a high value woman. Men who chase after money are trying to compensate for lack of emotional maturity. They're trying to attract men or ego, because high value women don't care about money. They don't care about how much money you make. They don't care about your chain. They don't care about your watch. They don't care about that stuff. High value women care about how open you are, how deep you are, how deep is your love, fuck nigga. That's what high value women care about. So I be confused on.
I'm confused myself about high value women, and I think, and let me explain the confusion, because I'm a firm believer that high value moniker is determined by the other gender. Women got together and said, by and large, and who they decided they were going to be with, who interested them the most, and how they delineated who was the better man, who was the better option. That's what kind of bore out high value. That's why even when Kevin Samuels was saying it has nothing to do with morality, has nothing to do with religion, has all to do with, you said, this man, in order for him to be worthy of me, he has to make this amount of money. He has to be one of the top earners. That's how we got there. Men, on the other hand, I think if you wanted to define that, I don't think there's been like a consensus of what a high value woman is outside of, well, first and foremost, femininity, right? Being fit, being friendly. These are the things that put women at a higher echelon, at that 10% range, maybe at 5% range, which is how our culture has taught women to move today. We're devoid of that femininity, so what's left, right? We're constantly talking about how women are constantly talking about how like masculine it have to be. So a big separating factor would probably be femininity. But again, I think it's one of these things that women are saying they're just going to define for themselves, like the same way they say they're 10, how they say they're a baddie. They're going to just proclaim themselves to be high value woman. Not to say that you had some lame men doing the same thing, but I think that bears a lot more consideration before we use that terminology to make a point. But to her main point, yeah, you're stupid. Men are always going to chase money because in the pursuit of that, one, we get a lot of control removed from our lust and our drive in chasing you. I think that's the real thing that is dissuasive. That's the thing you find you're angry about. Two, you chasing money, you're never really going to lose out in that aspect. Yeah, you can go to a detriment to a point where it consumes you, but so can you do so with chasing women, and that usually ends you up in dire straits. So if men had to make a choice between chasing women or chasing a bag or chasing a woman, you know where they're going to go. It just makes the most sense. It's the safe bet. It's the safe play. Why would I spend the majority of my life, the majority of my energy, the majority of all my resources trying to chase you who are on record as if saying that, yeah, I'm in it for the bag. I'm in it for the business decision. Love isn't really enough. Love isn't the most important factor for me. It's where can I rest my head with the most luxury? Who can I get that can sit here and take care of my kid or my kids? So what is the purpose of a man? It cannot be first and foremost a woman. It can't be. Before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. I say this because a lot of OGs on the channel, the notification bell just slips right out of there. So you don't get notified when we go live and when new content drops. So hype the video, share the video. We got some merch in the store. So listen, one of the things that men are very, very cognizant of, whenever there seems to be a point when men disagree with what women have to say, what a woman has to say, then you're so quick to bring out the attack on the masculinity. You call them DL, you call them sassy, you flat out call them gay. We see this and I don't think you understand. I don't think women get when you kind of just go this way, you look like the idiot, right? You look like the one incapable of actually having an actual discussion. Outside of you constantly telling men what they're doing and the reasons behind how they're moving, it comes across completely like, yo, you just don't care to understand. You're willfully ignorant of it. It doesn't matter how many times we tell you why we do a thing. If it simply does not conform to how you want it to be, then somehow it's wrong. You have to be able to take a step back and realize how selfish that sort of thinking is, and also how juvenile it is. Toddlers and children see the world through their lens, and it's, you don't blame them, because they just simply don't have the experience. They don't have the maturity. They don't have the development to see the world is wider and vaster than what I can lay my hands on. You, as an older woman, should understand this. Should understand that simply because my experiences showed me this, or that, doesn't mean that I can talk about men in general. I can't even talk truthfully about these men that I'm dealing with, because, well, we'll never hear their side of the story. And those moments when we get two sides, then you realize, oh yeah, the truth is somewhere in between. But the internet is not shaped up that way. It's not developed that way. It's where we can simply say a point, have someone in the comment section reiterate it and support it, and there it is. It's gospel. No one comes back and says, did you think about any of this? You can see so many articles go, and it's simply just false information, but you take it because it feels good. Everything she says feels good to women. It takes a culpability and accountability away from you, and just says, the reason he's not focusing on you is because he's gay. It's because he's DL. Watch how he chases his money. That should tell you everything you need to know. No, we chase that money because it's going to be one of the keys to let us establish anything else we're trying to do with our life. Specifically, we're trying to raise the family. If we're trying to support our family, it's going to take that money. If we're trying to see to our legacy, if we're trying to build the future, if we're trying to make sure we can retire in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, it's going to take money. Whatever our dreams and aspirations, probably a foundation of that, or the avenue to make that happen, is going to be money. That's what it is. Also, it's one of those things like the gym that won't really lie to you. You put in the effort, and you'll find a niche, you'll find a way to actually start making some money. And that in itself is rewarding. If we were to be fair and compare that to women, you can put as much effort into a certain woman as you want. That does not guarantee you anything. Nor should it, right? Let's be on the record here saying that. I take you out to a date, I'm putting effort, I'm spending money. It doesn't guarantee me anything. I'm saying that in that pursuit, in that drive, where we sink our energy, we want to eventually see some return. Hence why the gym is so popular about men. Outside of changing and shaping your body, being therapeutic, you can see the results if you do this. If you're consistent, you're going to see the results. Who doesn't love a simple if X, then Y, if P, then Q? Who doesn't love that? It gives us stability, it gives us balance. Furthermore, it helps us separate ourselves from everyone else, mainly because you said it's important. If you can get away, you said it doesn't matter, I'll date a broke man, and that was the normal nomenclature among women, yeah, a lot of men would just say, great, I don't have to do this. There's always going to be that group of men that are going to look to push the world forward, to say, no, I want to make as much money as possible. I want this so I can have the optionality of a life later. But most men, even if they're going to walk off a cliff, they'd rather chase the bag than walk off a cliff chasing a woman. But if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos, of course. And if you listen to my voice now and you want to protect the brand, I think you should. We're just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.